cloud. And I'm going to shut up and you can do your thing.
Okay, what's going on? My name is Justin. If y'all haven't met me before, I'm going to talk about a little bit about CrissCross. Kind of go over the settings real fast first, kind of get that out of the way. So, pretty much what, kind of back up a little bit. CrissCross, what it is the 950 cross and MACD cross. There we go. So it's the MACD cross as well as the 950 cross. You can use it on any time frame. I pretty much started using it pretty heavy in the past fall, and I started having 4-figure weeks mainly using the CrissCross. Literally get in, just ride it to the high, and or depending on what the market was looking like, and I was literally having 4-figure weeks, and it became 4-figure days. So it's a method that, use it correctly, it works very well. Kind of explain how to set it up if you're new. So at the 950, you go to your indicators, you type in EMA cross, and for some bright reason, nothing's come up. Try this again. EMA. I'm not sure why. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I've been sick for the past week and a half now. But so EMA cross, the one I use is D.Mark165. And once you click on it, all you got to do is click on it once. You see it popped over here, 821. And the other is the MACD4C. So give it indicators. So the one I use is a MACD4C, and I'm not sure what's going on with my trading view tonight, but this is the one I use by VKNO 422 plus signal line minus water. Some people just likes using just the basic MACD, which is this one. I prefer the MACD4C. It's just easier for my eyes. It's much cleaner, but you can use either one of them. So the way it works, well, starting back up, the EMA cross 821, right? But you go to your settings for your inputs. For the 821, this will be 8. So just change that to 9. Change EMA 2 to 50. Go to your style. The EMA 1, I have mine set as blue. The EMA 2, I have it set as red. And the crosses, I have it set for yellow. And I'll explain to you why in a second. So the crosses, as you see, easily see the cross happen. Even if you go to the 1 hour, you can still see the cross. It's just easier for the eyes for me. I'm getting a little older, so eyes get a little weaker. Also, so remember I said the 50 is red and the blue is 9. If the red is on top, that means it's currently selling, as you currently can see. Once the blue crosses over the red, it means it's going into a buy. Also, what you're looking for, so like right here, see how the blue crossed back over and the red is on top? Also, the signal line it took and crossed over the 0 line and it came back down. It happened pretty much at the same time. And that's I would say perfect sales. This is on an hour. Write it down. You got at least 334 pips and counting. Even if you were to cut it up here, see how we crossed over. Also it crossed over to MACD. Again, this is on an hour. That's 500 pips. Going down in a 15-minute, you can get a tighter entry. So the cross happened a little higher. Okay, kind of defeated right here. So now I've got 530 pips. Also, kind of give it a stop loss for a second. So let's say you're on the 15-minute and you got the CrissCross. You literally put your stop loss right above the high. Yeah, I know that's showing 55 pips. But if you literally wait for the retest, kind of get a little bit higher. About 30 pips. Yes, it works on all of them. Works on the indices, works on gold, works on all of them. So basically, the way the CrissCross works, it works best on a trending market. Okay. I'm gonna use this right here for example. You see how it's coming down? So you could actually call every time it crossed, we went down to the 15-minute. You could have called an entry right here, called another entry right here. I went to the 15-minute, which I will in a second, but you'll see there'll be a cross right here, right here, right here. I mean, a bunch of entries. Also, as you you gotta have an alert step of the line, and once it actually broke out, retested, and got you across, it'd be a perfect entry to catch the buy. Is that making sense? All right, I'm gonna take that as a yes. So, by the way, the reason why I have EA currently up at the moment. So, as you notice, like I said, EA is selling, and I'm expecting it to sell another 220 pips. Looking to my left, see this next low right here. Check CrissCross, a little easier to see. And the reason I'm expecting that, look at GJ. I've noticed every time GJ starts to buy, EA starts to sell. And every time, GJ starts selling, EA starts to buy. Yeah, I can post it in a group. Which group you're referring to? Okay, got you. But yeah, every time GJ buys, like I said, EA starts to sell. How do you? I'm gonna do a split screen. You see what I mean right here? Gotta bring it. And as it was selling right here, as GJ was selling, you see EA was currently buying up. So literally, for me, whenever I'm trading, I'm only focused on one currency. I ain't trying to trade 2 or 5 different trades at once. But if you wanted to do 2, no more than 2, this would be 2 good ones to actually to do at the same time. Because I mean, like I said, they're running opposite of each other. It's something kind of put in your side pocket to get back to. So right before the session, I didn't get a chance to market last night. I've had other competing things going on, but kind of go through the market for a second. The AD CAD. AD CAD is I'm personally not getting a really clear picture. I could see it buying, but I'm not gonna really mess with it. AJ is a good one for look at the buy. Trying to zoom in so you can get a better picture. Matter of fact, it's finally broke out of my zone. and grind it up to the next high. That's roughly 75 pips. And for looking at the next one I'm referring to is right here, which is actually a like an engulfing zone. A lot of the stuff versus Japan pairs is buying. It's the AU. I didn't really get I didn't have a warm fuzzy for AU personally, because every time it came up, every time it came back up to this area, it literally rejected. So I'm curious what's going to happen. Is it going to finally break through, or is it going to reject again? So AU is not one of the ones I'm even going to bother with. CJ, you see how that shot up. I think Gwen was about to say something or mark on something.
Yeah, go back. Remember what I teach you guys? So it sold off here, right? To
Yeah.
liquidity here. So it's more likely to go through here. Go back to your GJ real quick. So here it sold, here it sold, here it broke through. When I told you everybody was trying to sell it, and I kept telling you guys to hold. That's why it weakens the levels each time it hits. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a strong possibility that could break.
Also, I'm looking at GJ right now on the daily. That looks like what'd you call it? A RBR rally bar
Rally, base, rally. Do you have that picture? Did you say that picture?
I don't have the picture, unfortunately.
I'll try to share it before we get off.
All right. Thank you. Actually, pretty much all the Japan pairs are showing it. As you can see it right here. Previously, here's one, the RBR. As you see, once you had a sell candle when it shot up some more. Same thing right here. I'm expecting the same thing happen. And by the way, this is on the daily, so it's going to be even more of even more pips. EA, talked about EA. What I like to see it happen is come back up to here and then try to catch the sell on down to have less of a stop loss. Eurocad. I can see that selling as well, but personally, I'm staying away from it. Eurocad hasn't really been too nice this year. EJ, I can see it going and buying on all back up to the 119 pips. EU, the 38 pips to go before it could take an I mean, it could continue going on up, or it could go back for a correction to be able to continue buying some more. Trying to think of the right words. GI, I can see pretty much doing the same thing as EA selling wise. And with British pairs, you tend to get a whole lot more pips. So this would be 181 pips. Or I'm selling it right now where it is. but I would personally wait till closer to the London session before trying to, because if it would happen to get in right now, I would get in at a low block size. Wait till the London session before trying to enter or closer to the London session.
Hey, go back to that one and zoom in real quick, like make it bigger. All right, hold it right there. Let it come in and retest at least up to here. That's a minimum.
So, talked about GiGi already. GiGi, and I didn't get a chance to remark up. This was a couple weeks ago when I was marking. So. GU, I can see it going actually all the way back to here, kind of minimum. Got 200 pips. I'll show you why I'm saying that in a second. Get a nice little flag. Yeah, right before this call, I was kind of going back over looking at my charts, and I got upset because there's one trade I was looking at I wanted to catch, and I showed you in a second, and I completely missed it. I didn't have my alert set on the way I should have had it. Because GU, like I said, the 200 pips.
Yeah, I'm mad. I called the buy for that and EU on my last night's session, and then I missed them. They took off during London.
In CAD, I haven't really marked or messed with this one too much. I know I'm skipping over to Swiss franc. That's because I don't mark Swiss franc at all. It moves way too slow. I thought I had NJ marked, but I guess I didn't. Look at you, CAD. I had it marked. I was trying to catch it. That would be at 300, about 400 pips in the right. If I would have called it, if I would have been paying attention.
Hey, do you mind when you're done tonight with the CrissCross, showing people how to find their zones? Because a lot of people struggle with that.
I got you. Might need a little bit of help because currently my head is still a little foggy from that head cold I caught from the travels. So I will see what I can do. All right. Lastly is UJ. If it breaks out of this zone right here, I can see it coming on up to the next area. This is my next area of interest. $354. Pretty much what I'm looking at is looking at the next high. Let's see. Anybody have any questions on the settings?
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody unmute.
I'm gonna show how to set alert real fast.
All right, I'll unmute them after that.
All right, so I forgot, my apologies, not showing earlier. So if you want to set alert, you can do it multiple ways. You can literally click over here, or up here. It doesn't matter where you click on, or click on the EMA itself. Anyways, add alert. Change the first condition to EMA cross. Change the second condition to EMA cross as well. You see how it shows EMA 1, EMA 2. Change the message to whatever makes sense to you. DJ crossing for a buy or whatever. Because what's going to happen is she'll pop up on your phone or your computer or whatever. So you don't want the alert pop up, just kind of looking at it. Okay, got cross. Anyway, so you got, once you get that alert set, go, you can click on the signal line, it doesn't matter, but again, I'm going to click right here. All right, set it for MACD 4C. Set this for the signal, MACD 4C, zero line. So us, literally what it's saying is when the signal crosses the zero line, when the signal crosses the zero line or whatever, like going up, crossing for a buy, crossing down, it's crossing for a sell. If the MA 950 crosses, but the MACD doesn't cross, don't mess with it. And it's like MACD crosses, but the 950 doesn't cross. Again, don't mess with it. It might be maybe 15 minutes difference in time order, but both of them needs to cross before you try to get an entry. All right. That being said, that's all I have. Y'all can go ahead and unmute.
I have a question on when you were drawing the pips. How do you know where to stretch it out when you're taking your pips? The pink screen, the pink square. Did you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. So you're talking about, for example, like right here, this yellow square?
When you were showing the entries off of the EMA where it crosses over, and then you went ahead and had the screen where the pips, you drew down the pips. Can you show me that?
You're talking about this here? Trying to
She's
remember which
talking
one.
about when you measure from where you
Yes.
are to your next zone.
Okay.
Yes,
My
thank
fault.
you.
And that's why I told you to cover the zones, because it's all based on your next zone.
Let's see if I can try to show his own. Let's see, this be a take profit. Well, for take profit area, first thing you want to look at is where your next low is. For example, like I'm on a 15-minute right now, my next low, you can see it's right here.
Yes.
For entry wise, so I like looking for an engulfing on where the impulse happened. And that's where I like to look to see, does it break the area or does it just come up to it to retest? Like, for example, you see this engulfing area right here, pick up this a little easy. All right, you see that engulfing candle?
Yes.
It came up, retested the area once, twice, and then it went ahead and dropped.
Right.
So that's kind of what I look for my zone.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. And just like EA, the reason why I'm thinking it's going to sell, even though it broke out of the trend and looked like it was going to go ahead and start heading up, if you look to the left, it came up to the previous zone, and then it dropped back down. Over here, it started to come up. It got to the last engulfing area and then it fell back down. I don't know if y'all can see that or not.
Thank you.
So that's what I'm expecting to again sell down. And also with GJ currently buying, that's another confirmation.
And also, if you go on WOW, there's a session where Jeff Kirkland covers market supply and demand zones, and then I cover them as well on WOW.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions at the moment?
So Justin, are you basing your entries off the 15-minute cross confirmation, or do you use another time?
Mainly I do my analysis and everything. I try to stay on the hour as much as possible, and that way I can maintain where I'm at in the market. And then I go down to the 15 minutes to start looking for my entry.
Okay, gotcha.
Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah. Well, if I get across on 5, could I take it like on the 5-minute?
Yeah, you can get on 5-minute, or you can use it on 1 minute. I know on indices you can people actually use a 1 minute, and I think it's 3-minute for CrissCross on indices.
All right, but what's the main criteria for that, Justin?
The main criteria is don't try to do 1 minute unless you're more
No.
advanced.
Where's the rules that I gave you? Can you pull those up on your own? Do you still have those typed out?
You talking about that template thing I had?
Yeah, the rules for using CrissCross. You have to be in a zone for it to be high probability. You have to catch it from a zone.
Use that one.
Remember, I had covered it on one of the previous sessions, and you were like, I'm glad you covered this.
Yeah.
And you had typed it out somewhere.
I think it was something in this nature. Wait for
Yeah,
the
that's
call.
it. Is it at a key zone? And it has to be going in the trend that you anticipate, of course. So high probability trades come from trading, like let me see. Let's do this. Cut this off and let's go to a lower time frame and see where we would have gotten the cross. All right, turn on your EMAs.
Oh yeah.
All right, go to like your 5 minute, stop it. I'll pause it, go to your 5 minute. So that's the 5 minute, go to your 3 minute. And go to your 1 minute. And there you go. So hold still, don't move. You're in a key zone, break the structure, retest, boom. All right, so if you had entered here, watch your stop loss there. So put your little short tool on here and bring it all the way down to your zone. You're gonna have to back out to a higher time frame.
Yeah.
When we get our entries on lower time frame, our take profits on higher. go to your 4 hour for your POI. So your POI is going to be all the way down at the bottom.
Oh,
'Cause
wait,
that's your
right
next,
here.
that's your next zone right there. That would have been your primary POI.
Yeah.
I stretch it out. Stretch it out.
Hold on, let me get back down.
And let's see what our risk to reward. Did you pull it all the way down?
Yeah.
So
It's on the-
25, a 25 R. Okay. That means you won 25 more than you risk. All right, now hit that, go back, like hit your reset down here, refresh. All right, and drag it over here and let's just press play. So look, we got in at that order block. You can speed this thing up. How many pips did that end up going? Take it to your 1 hour. And yeah, finish playing it out. Got another entry here on the lower time frame. Another entry here. Got another entry here. All right. So just from here down to your, drag it down to your zone. You're gonna have to pull it all the way over for us to see how much we actually got.
I got you.
All right, so we won 26.69 risk to reward. That means for every dollar you risk, you made $26. So like on a 0.10, you would have made, wait, that's a dollar. You made $260 on this trade. Wait, which trade is it? This is euro odd. How many pips did it go?
483.
What's up, money coach? So yeah, 483 with like a 0.10, you would have made over $400 on this trade using a very tight stop loss and trading from a 1 minute entry to a 4 hour POI.
So roughly risking $18 to get 480. Like I said, CrissCross can be very useful in it. I mean, it works really good. And also with the 9050 and MACD, you can put on the MT4 as well. Not so much the alerts, but you can put on the MT4.
Don't try to go anywhere. I got a surprise guest getting ready to get on. But you can keep teaching while I get him on.
Excuse me. Like I said, these rules, let me take this off. This is being recorded, so I'll be able to drop it. But does anybody want to try to jot down these the rules? Obviously, the most important thing is always use 1% risk. In the take profit area, always, you don't have to take a full take profit, but I highly suggest always at least click something at your next high or low, because it's not guaranteed that it will continue selling off. It could get to the next low and then go ahead and bounce up. So at least be able to collect something.
And like he was saying, this is best used in a trending market. A trending market, people use a trend line, but the trend line is just to gauge the momentum of the fall. The harder it's falling, of course, this fell choppy because Euro auto always falls choppy. But you see, whenever it was pulling back into the trend line, it just happened to coincide with your zones. Okay, you got zones here, and you're getting crosses here. And you go in this smaller time frame, just like we did earlier, you got a zone, pull back into the trend line in the zone, get an entry, pull back to the trend line in the zone, get an entry. And guys, you can take a 400 pip move and turn it into about 1,200 pips just by scaling in and taking trades. That makes sense to everybody? It's making sense to everybody?
Can you repeat that, GiGi, please?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. So we said that all indicators are used for confirmation. All indicators work best in a trending market. So on a downtrend, we're getting lower lows and lower highs. So a trend line is confirmed by 2 touches. A trend is confirmed by 3 touches. So after 3 touches, you have a strong trend. Okay, the trend line is just for momentum. How sharp is your trend line going down? If it's going down sharp, that's why they have a trend line tool over here that has the actual degrees telling you what the decline is for this. Okay, you see he marked a zone. Not only did it come into his zone, it also hit the trend line. The EMA's pulled together. Now this is the 1 hour. So on the lower time frame, you're going to get another cross. It's probably crossing, zigzagging here, get a cross and an entry. Zone, trend line, cross. Zone, trend line, cross. Okay, zone, trend line, cross. Is this making sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and so he made a 4 hour zone up here.
Yes.
And we trade zone to zone, 4 hour zone down here. What happens on the lower time frame? You don't get a straight drop. You get impulse, correction, continuation, which is just a drop, retest, break a structure. Drop, retest, break a structure. Drop, retest, break a structure. And you can scale in and get those multiple entries, but you have to be looking at the higher time frame to know where you are in the market. Yes or yes?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's getting a lot of people's heads busted is they all want to be snipers. They're all going to the 1 minute and they forget to back out and see where they are in the market. And I hate to tell y'all this, but those 15 and 20 pip stop losses are not snipers. Stop calling them snipers. They're not. That's not what a sniper trade is. Okay. It's good that you're getting tight stop losses, but don't be calling 15 and 30 pips a sniper. We work our way up to that. And that's what they're trying to do. They're getting on these 1 minutes. So like here, they're seeing impulse correction and they're trying to catch a continuation here. The trade's reversing on them because they didn't look at the higher time frame and know where they are in the market. But what is our #1 rule for any trade? What is #1 here?
1%.
All right, but what's the key word? Because
Manage.
right, risk management. If you look at Sarah's post today, she grew her $100,000 live FTMO by 2.1%. How much risk did she use per trade? Somebody that read it.
1%.
She used 0.5%. She used 0.5% and made over $2,000. So this over leveraging and blowing accounts is completely unnecessary. So the main reason I brought y'all to look at #1, how many of y'all remember the boot camp we did for the team and we covered risk management?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, y'all remember Money Coach?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, he just joined the call. Money Coach, what you got to say?
I remember the boot camp very well. What's up, billionaires?
Do you notice how many people have passed FTMO since your phenomenal training?
Man, you popping them out over there like babies. Like it's unreal. The word on the street is they call your boot camp St. Jude because you just popped them out.
So give them your little speech about risk management real quick. Let me put my hair up. It's getting hot in here.
If you don't practice risk management, risk management is just like, without it, it's like practicing unsafe sex. It's like driving on a speed strip with no seatbelt. That's pretty much what risk management is. Risk management is the seatbelt. Risk management is the protection to make sure that you're not getting XTDs. I'm telling you, it's the craziest analogy, but trust me, without it, you really are gambling. And that's not what you are. We are not gamblers. We are market analysts. And so what we do is never get into the market without knowing how much you're willing to risk. That's what takes the fear out of losing. When you take the fear out of losing, there's nothing else but to win. If I know that I'm willing, if I have $100 account and I know that $100, 1% is $1. If I'm risking $1, I'm not mad if I lose $1 and I have 99 left. That's not messing me up. Now, what will mess me up is if I have $100 and I risk 75 and I blow 75% of the account. That's what will mess me up. So you got to know, I'm telling you, if anybody on this call is planning on doing FTMO, risk management, managing your trade, and understanding where you are in the market, high time frame to low time frame analysis. If you get all three of those things, you are FTMO pretty much guaranteed. It's just without question. But do you have the discipline to practice risk management? Can I practice risk management when I lose 2 trades in a row and not revenge trades and say, hey, I'm going to risk 2% to try to make up for the 2% I lost? No. Just practice risk management and do what you're doing. And I'm telling you, applaud the young lady who's doing 0.5%. Some people may need to do 0.25%. Figure out what's going to work. The goal is to pass FTMO. You guys got everything you need. GiGi is a certified leader. She is taking us to the promised land. I'm here for you. We've got another risk management class that's going to come up very, very, very soon. It's nothing. We always need to be hearing it again. If you think you've got it lit, you need to be on the call too. All right. Appreciate you, GiGi. Justin, y'all doing an amazing job. This indicator is life. Real talk.
Thank you.
And y'all heard what Justin said. He started using the CrissCross strategy. And tell him about the money you made for those who got on here late. Just what this strategy did for you in using risk management.
I started, it was actually about September of this past year, right around fall came in, and I started using it. And pretty much having consistent 3-figure days, which turned to 4-figure days. 3-figure weeks to 4-figure weeks to 4-figure days, and I was on my way to 5-figure weeks. But military kind of got in the way a little bit, kind of broke my focus, so I had to slow down.
So somebody's asking, are we waiting for the blue and red to cross? So can you just show them one more example, walk through the trade one more time?
All right. So use where I'm at right here. Excuse me, I'm clear my throat. But like I said, went for the blue to cross. Wait for the retest to happen, which you see happen right here. Blue crossed over the red. Now the red's back on top, which the red is on top, that means it's selling. The blue's on top, that means it's buying. So this CrissCross happened. Also, you're waiting for the signal to cross back over the 0 line, back into a sell. Now right here, you see the blue cross. The blue is now under the red. Also, the signal crossed under, crossed back over and it's back below the 0 line. So over here, yes, it kissed. If you zoom in, yes, I'm on hour. They've crossed, but it hasn't crossed the 0 line yet. So Would it be wise to get into it? No. Also, if you look, yes, it has broke below it broke this area. So more than likely what it would do is come back at least back this high and it'll continue selling. So if you wait till about 10 o'clock my time, so about another 4 minutes, it might be actually sitting on the zero line itself to signal, or it could go ahead and cross. That's one thing about the time frame. You go to 15 minutes, nothing happened, go back and check another 15 minutes. You don't have to sit there and babysit. Forex is made to be, it's not made to be something to gamble on. It's made for financial freedom.
I want you to do me a favor. Hover over.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Since it crossed already in the 1 hour, and you said go back to the 15, would it already cross in the 15?
So short answer is yes, it's already crossed only 15 minutes. That happened back, says roughly 7:15, 7:30. So about a good 2 hours.
So,
Go ahead.
so would you have taken that trade since it already crossed and it's already the white line, like you said, it's over the MACD? Or you're gonna wait to the 1 hour? It's
Being a
doing this
Monday
stuff.
night, I normally wait for the 1 hour. I try to wait as late in the Asian session as possible.
No, but I'm not saying the agent, I'm just saying in general.
Got you.
That was probably because of the old news tonight too. Hey, do me a favor, box in your flag for me, your high and your low.
But the box are
And while you're doing that, you got to remember, even though it crossed on the 1 hour, it could be on a pullback on the lower. Let's just say if it's selling on the 1 hour, it could be buying on the 15 minutes. So that's counter trend. So that's why you gotta always see what the higher time frame is and when does the lower time frame aligning with the higher time frame. If that's so.
All right, so we had a break of structure when it took out this order block, right? So we're waiting for price to retest that order block. It did it here and it did it here. All right. Now take me down to the 5 minute, keep that same box there. This is why you have to know what the price is doing on every time frame. See, you already got a cross here on the 5 minute, but as soon as it crossed, you went into sideways consolidation, okay? You did get a break of structure on the 5 minute, and guess what? It's retesting that break of structure. Price here gave us a low, so that was like an impulse, pullback, and a continuation for that time frame. Now go to your 3 minute. So you start lining it up to see what every time frame is doing. Are you getting multiple confirmations? Guess what? Here's an order block. Here was imbalance. What happened here? I've been teaching y'all this on the smart money classes.
He took it out.
Yeah, took it out.
It closed what?
Who's the imbalance?
Closed
Still
the imbalance. Right, there you go. So you could have gotten here, but you would have been in all that crazy consolidation before it broke again. Or you could have waited for the break here. Here was an order block with imbalance, came into here. Now you're getting across. It just depends on whether you want to get in and suffer through all of this. All right. So tell me what time all of this, what time frame is this? This is like early New York, right? Moves happen during New York. And with these Asian pairs, like the odd pairs, you can get moves during Asian. I wouldn't trade anything non-Asian during Asian, but you had news tonight on the odd, which is, I think it was like at 5:30. So that's probably why it sold off a little bit. 7:30. Okay, that's what time it happened. Oh, you're in a different time zone than me, right?
Yeah, 8:30 your time.
Okay. So it wasn't extremely volatile. So where's the news happen on here?
Let's see, 7:30,
30.
19:30. Roughly right around here.
So why do I teach y'all guys news is for? To do what?
Take out liquidity.
Right? It took it out and then you got your break. So you just start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. But yeah, you could have got in up here on that first zone, but he probably wasn't trading then. That was like this morning when he was going to work on base because he works for the military every day. So he probably missed that. You could have taken this cross coming out of, he had a higher time frame POI. Okay. And remember, I told you, what's the number one rule? Risk management. What's the number two rule? I got it memorized. Anybody else memorize it? At a what? Went for a cross at a key zone. Was it at a key zone? Yes, it was. Okay. Did the EMA cross? Yes. Did the MACD cross? You had an M. We know that that is a retail trader's baby right there to give us a sell. So for pips and giggles, let's just say we entered, what time frame are we in?
3 minutes.
All right, let's look at the 1 minute. Now again, y'all guys get used to doing this like on the 5 or 15 before you jump to the lower time frame. Right, you got to go way back over here where it happened.
Okay.
So it would have got us in a little bit sooner, but look what happens with the cross. You have a what right here. Let me change my color. Something that's going to show it better. What will show it better? Will black show it better? What do we have right there? You have a low, a high. What is this?
Higher way.
Nope.
Higher low.
Nope.
Complex pullback.
Yep. All right. This is not a higher low because it didn't break structure. A higher low means price is going to keep going to the upside. It is not a higher low. All right. It is a failed. It failed, but it came to an order block with imbalance and retested it. Okay. So now you have internal structure that's inside here and here. Okay. Here you had a small high, low, high. Look at me, I'm bass backwards right now, excuse me. A low and a high, a low. Now you have a lower high, and this is a lower low that broke and retested. You see that? Structure inside of structure. You have an order block, imbalance, retested. So let's just say you saw your cross, but you waited for it to come back to that. Y'all better be watching on Thursday nights. Order block with imbalance. Now you entered off of this. So give me an entry off of that right there. This is when you start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. As soon as it tapped in right there, that wick, that would have been your entry. Stop really could have gone just over this if you play by the rules. If you want to be a little bit safer, you could have put it here, but honestly, it should have just been like right over this. And so you have a 4.5 to 1. Okay. You've already made a 5 to 1 risk to reward in the first few minutes of the night. You can stop trading for the day. You don't have to sit here and trade the rest of the night. You just got a perfect clean setup. All the rules played out. Go watch a movie. Don't be sitting here trying to catch 10 trades a day. If you risk $100, you just made $452. You just say 450. Okay. How many pips was that? 12. And you made how many?
57 pips.
7. So that's all you need. One trade like that a day, FTMO will pay you nicely. You don't need all these trades that are being dropped. You just need to see a signal called. Come over here and look at the chart. Do the rules line up? If not, it's just like what was that trade that they called today? US 30. And I told the team, don't get in it yet. We jumped on and watched it play out and took it together and got out. So we waited for the rules. Like he called the sell down here. We waited till it came and matched our rules and got in. So we made more money, a few more pips, because sometimes, you know, they get called a little early because everybody has different trading rules. It doesn't mean they're wrong. It just means everybody has different trading rules. Set your trading rules. Use them for confirmations for when somebody else drops a chart or drops a trade or drops a signal. That way you will know whether or not to take the trade. It's best to, if you're unsure, not take it, whether it plays out or not. Don't cry over missed pips. There's a trade every day. There's probably 5 setups a day with everything that's moving in the market. And you don't have to catch all 5 of them. You can catch 2 to 3 a week and be a 6-figure trader. Terrell and I were talking about that today. The more money you make, the less you trade, because now you're catching better setups and you're using larger stop losses, larger lot sizes and smaller stop losses. You see these traders having a $600,000, $700,000 week. They don't trade again for 2 or 3 weeks. They don't say like, oh man, I just made $500,000. I'm gonna try and do it again tomorrow. No, they've learned when you make that kind of money, you walk away. So you want to graduate up to that. Stop looking for 2 to 5 trades a day and start looking for maybe 2 to 5 a week. I see these people dropping screenshots with about 20 trades in a day, and I say, oh my God, what are they doing? So just be careful of over trading. Once you make good money, don't revenge trade. Don't try and come back for more. Take what the market gives you and be happy. Look at the ROI. Don't look at the money. Look at your ROI. Did I grow my account by 1% today? Yes. So you just made 10 times more than your bank is going to give you in a year. But you did it in a day. I'll take those odds any day. Don't overtrade, period. You don't have to. You don't need to. It breeds bad habits. If the chart, if the trades and people dropping profits and stuff are distracting, mute them. Mute them. Ignore them. That's not your money. Don't worry about what they're making. If they're not dropping charts or teaching you how to trade, don't worry about it. It's a distraction. You got to focus on making your money. That's why you see me post before and after charts. I'm trying to motivate people to know that this skill set is real. I mean, anybody can drop money, but you want to work your way up to where you are the signal. That's why ForexNChill, my logo is I am the signal. You see, Sarah is killing FTMO. She only won like 47, 50% of her trades, but she passed $100,000 FTMO. Why? Because of rule number 1, risk management. You do not have to win every trade. Sarah she won less than 50% of her trades, but in less than a week, she was live on FTMO with $100,000. That's the power of risk management and trade management. That makes sense, guys? Forget about having to be right every single time. And like Coach Chris said, if you lose 1%, you lost 1%, so what? That's like having a $100 bill and losing $1. Are you gonna freak out over that? Who freaks out over $1 if they have $100? Who freaks out over a dime if they have $1? Like, that's 10%. And that's when you start freaking out, right? Now you're down into 10%. Because I read a post today, somebody was talking about, oh, I put 5% to 10% per trade. I use proper risk management. I'm like, dude, you're gambling. Because now you can only lose 10 trades and you're done. Like you have nothing left. On FTMO, you risk a dime, you're done. 1 loss, you're done. How you go risk 5%? You're done for the day because you can only lose 5% in a day. So why you go risk 5% on 1 trade? You lose that trade, you're done. You're kicked out of FTMO. Any prop firm, 5% in a day, you're done. Don't listen to these people that are using these crazy stop losses and crazy lot sizes. Calculate your risk. Calculate your risk. There's a ForexNChill session where Coach Chris goes through how to calculate it. There's calculators online. There's calculators built into Shift. Calculate your risk. Know exactly how much money you're going to lose once you pull that trigger. So like if it's a 15 pip stop loss and the pair is paying $1 a pip, that's $15. Okay, $15 is 1% of how much?
1%
Anybody?
of $15?
Yes, this is 1% of what?
Oh, so consider it $1.50.
No, if $15 is how much you're risking, how much your account be?
1,500.
Yep, $1,500. A $1,500 account, you shouldn't be risking more than 15%. Now you can lose 100 times, still have money. Some of y'all are risking $500 on a $1,500 account. And you're getting lucky. Luck runs out. The market does crazy stuff sometimes. I know somebody had a $3,000 account. He put trades on a couple of GBP pairs, didn't put stop losses and breaks it in his hit. Within 2 to 3 minutes, do you think he had any money? When I say those pairs were moving 300 pips in a minute, when Brexit news hit, he had not only had he over leveraged, he didn't put a band-aid on it. Like when you don't use a stop loss, that's like you're risking 100% of your account, point blank period, because you don't have a stop loss. The market could spike at any time and blow your whole account. If you don't close it, your broker will. So that's it. Let me stop preaching. Good God, it's after 11 o'clock. Anybody got any questions? I'll sit here and preach all night about trading. Any questions, comments? Everybody understand everything on the CrissCross?
Yes.
And thank you, Justin. You did a phenomenal job explaining it.
Thank you much.
All right, guys, that's it. Justin will post the recording and drop the link for everybody to rewatch.
Appreciate
Y'all
it.
have a great night. Say thank you, Justin and Coach Money
Thanks,
Coach.
guys. Really appreciate it.
Good
Thank
to
you,
see
guys.
y'all.
Thank you.
All right, have a good night, everybody.